I'm here on my way to Madrid. I'm going to see this wonderful Spanish artist, Pablo Alborán, who's going to play at one of the most important parks in Madrid. So I'm on my way there, and I didn't bring my headphones with me. I always like to listen to music while I travel, and this time is the exception because I forgot to bring them. So I thought, why not recording a video for you guys, giving you some advice on how you can improve your spoken English, especially for the ones who've been struggling with this language. In my experience, there are two kinds of people. The ones who learn by grammar and the ones who learn by actually doing things and not caring about the rules that much. You have to find the right way to learn for you. What do I mean by this? Take a look at your life and tell me how you learn things that have nothing to do with language, that have nothing to do with the subjects that you studied at school. Might be practical things like, I don't know, fixing a window or cooking or things that you do in your home every day. So maybe you learned by watching someone doing that. Maybe you learned because somebody like your dad, your mom, your brother taught you to do so. Maybe you learned because you like that thing so much that you found the encouragement to go and learn it by yourself. And that encouragement, that joy, is crucial to learn something, especially in languages. If you like a language, it's going to be 10 times easier to learn that language. So one of the things I did in the past was to learn songs by my favorite artists. So I would print in a sheet of paper the lyrics, I would read the lyrics, I would act the lyrics, and then I would say those lyrics along with the music. And that helped me with the pronunciation, with the intonation. But most importantly, that helped me start understanding rules and grammar structures. Because most of the things always repeat, like the pattern, subject, verb, complement, and then there's the verb. If you want to do a sentence in the past, you just change the verb in the past, and the complement has to be yesterday or last night or 2 years ago, but the structure keeps being the same. So when you go from one song to the other, you start noticing these patterns and you start acknowledging subconsciously the things that you found hard to learn at school, with like having this grammar structure and these very square lessons. So that was my way. And I used to learn a verse of my favorite song, and then I would repeat it and repeat it and repeat it over and over and over again, because language is also repetition. And as I'm reading the lyrics and as I'm repeating the lyrics, you can sing the lyrics too, of course. Hey! I'm here to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. That helps me grow, and that helps keep this community alive and fresh. Subscribe! But the thing is that when you sing, you bring emotion into your singing. And that's one of the things that helps the most, like emotion. Why do kids learn so fast? Because they don't give a shit. They don't give a rat's ass about the grammar. They just absorb, they don't care about the rules. They just repeat what adults say. That's why we have to be careful about what we say in front of kids, right? And we should do the same thing, just imitating, just repeating what somebody else said and the way they said it. So in songs, that's pretty easy to mimic. That's pretty easy to copy. So in my case, I remember it was like this Michael Bublé song. You're the getaway car, you're the land in the sand. When I go too far, you're the swimming pool on a night we stay. So I started to learn vocabulary through the songs. And yeah, I mean, Michael Bublé is a Canadian singer, so his accent is really easy to understand. Canadian accent is a beautiful accent, which made it easier to learn and to imitate. And that's also a recommendation Find someone who has a very standard, understandable pronunciation and try to mimic that person. Don't try to look for Australian accents or some British accents that are really hard to understand. Remember, speaking fast or speaking with an accent that most people can't understand is not good English. That doesn't mean that you have a good English. Maybe some people who don't speak English are gonna say, oh, wow, look at the way he speaks. But the most important thing is that people understand you. So find your singer, find your song. It can be one song or two, right? And start imitating what you hear. Tip number 2, and this is also related to this. I love movies. I just love films. So I've always watched a lot of movies, different actors. I have my favorite actors. And one of the things that really helped me speak fluent English was to choose to pick some of my favorite scenes and learn them by heart, but not just learn the dialogue, not just the lines, but the emotion that was involved in that scene. And there's this one which is very special. I don't know if you've seen a movie called Any Given Sunday by Al Pacino. Amazing movie. It's about this football team that is struggling to win the championship, and Al Pacino is training them. So they are losing the last game of the season. They are not winning the championship, and it's halftime. And he gives this amazing motivational speech to his players. And then it's so moving. It's so, it really touched me. So when I tried to imitate this speech, I made sure that I was having the same kind of mind state and soul state and heart state that he was having at the moment. He was looking at his team lose the championship they had fought for so much. So it was a mixture of frustration, but at the same time, he was very, very encouraging, and he really believed in his players, and you could feel that in the way he said his lines. And I remember this line like, it all comes down in a minute, inch by inch,
Inch by inch,
play by play.
play by play.
I can't, it was years ago, so I can't remember the whole speech. But as I repeated those lines, what happened is that then I started to realize that when I was speaking with someone, I started to kind of steal structures from that speech, from that motivational speech. And it was actually bringing it into my spoken English. And it was all done subconsciously, which was great because that's one of the best ways when you're not thinking like subject, verb, and all of that shit. So I really encourage you to find this scene that you like. If you find a partner who you can practice with, even better, because that's gonna make it more fun, more enjoyable, and you're gonna both learn. If this person knows more English than you do, much better, and you're gonna see that you're gonna have improvement. But the most important thing, like, bring the emotion into your speech, because you can't say like, oh, I'm really happy to be here with you today. No. I'm really happy that I'm here today with all of you guys. You gotta believe what you're saying, because that's gonna make your brain connect to your soul, to your heart. And that's gonna be, like, in the long term, much better for your English learning process. Si quieres seguir mejorando tu inglés, específicamente tu listening, te invito a escuchar una serie de suspenso que he creado para que tú puedas practicar tu listening escuchando las aventuras de The Messenger. Esta serie que te va a ayudar a obtener nuevo vocabulario, a tener un mejor entendimiento del inglés, a empezar ya a agudizar el oído para esas pruebas de listening que son bastante complicadas, y además está llena de suspenso, de misterio, sobre todo de simbolismo. Así que te invito a escuchar The Messenger aquí en mi canal de YouTube y también en Spotify. One of the other things that I used to do was this crazy thing that you're gonna think that I'm nuts, but this one really works. When you don't have anybody to speak English with, right? You don't have anybody to practice. The only thing that you can do is to speak with yourself, but not in your mind. You gotta, speak out loud. Maybe louder than I'm talking right now because I don't want to bother people on the bus. So that helps you because the biggest problem that English learners have is that they can't find the words to say something when they are actually having a conversation with someone, usually native speakers. I say native speakers because you can talk to a person who doesn't speak your language, like in my case, Spanish, but maybe they speak German or Russian or whatever. So their English is not the first language. So this is the thing you gotta do. You gotta pretend that you are talking to someone. So right now, for example, let me give you an example. I'm on the bus on my way to Madrid. Let's pretend I'm talking on the phone and somebody asks me like, hey, where are you? Right now, I'm on the bus on my way to Madrid. That's something that is happening, it's something that is true. It's something that I'm actually experiencing, living right now as I'm talking to myself. So I can relate to it, I can feel it. I'm sitting down on the bus, I feel really comfy, and I like what I'm looking at through the window. This is like the 4th or 5th time that I visit Madrid, and it's so exciting because I am going to a music concert. A concert, also repeat, always like do the structures and repeat the words so that you can engage the next sentence. That means I'm going to see one of my favorite artists. This artist is called Pablo Alborán. He's a Spanish artist and I really love his music. So this is basically what you gotta do. If you're cooking, just give me sentences while you're cooking. If you're watching TV, give me sentences while you're watching TV. And that's the only way you can improve. And the final message would be, remember, you gotta find your method. It's not wrong if you can't learn by the book, by learning grammar, by having traditional lessons, let's call them that way. You gotta find your way. And the only way you can find your way is to sit down and think, all right, how have I learned the things I know really well in the past? Was it because somebody taught me? Was it because somebody taught me in a non-traditional way, in a colloquial way with simple words? Was it because I saw my brother doing it and that's how I know? In the case of many English learners, it's funny because the ones who watch movies, the ones who play games, especially the ones who play games in English, they learn a lot of vocabulary. My brother, he never did a course of English, and just by playing video games, that's where he got his vocabulary and his fluency, and he's really good at it. And when he went to college, he already knew how to speak English and vocabulary because he played so much. That's a positive thing you can say about playing games, right? So find your way.
Mejora tu inglés con música. Aprende con mis canciones en Spotify y los lyric videos aquí en mi canal de YouTube. Mejora tu vocabulario y pronunciación en solo 3 minutos y aprende a comunicarte en distintos contextos de forma más entretenida. Teacher M, Sing to Learn.
So I think we are arriving to Madrid. I think so. So that was to wrap up. I'm gonna close the video now. Leave your questions below in the comments if you're struggling in this journey. And I hope you liked the video and I hope you learned something useful today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Teacher M and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.